Hi everyone, it's Kobe. Welcome back to part 2 of this video. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I will link it down below or up here so you can check that out either right now or after you've watched this video. And I'm just diving into the 5 most important lessons that I have learned from this year and in general, doing all things music and creative. A lot of people are always asking the question, how do I be more motivated or how do I be more disciplined? And of course, motivation and discipline are incredibly important, but I feel they are secondary to environment. You always hear of Navy SEALs and adventurers and ultramarathon runners and a lot of fitness-based people talking about motivation and discipline. One of the key things I don't hear them mentioning as often or attributing much credit to is the environment that they were in. If you're a Navy SEAL and you are surrounded by other people who are all committed to a common goal, you have no option but to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, tidy your bed, do 100 press-ups and 100 sit-ups because there's accountability, because the environment that you're in demands that of you. The option of not doing those things is almost not really there. One of my favorite aha moments with respect to willpower was realizing that you don't really have that much willpower and it doesn't really change from person to person. It's not like one person just has so much more willpower than everyone else because they've developed it and grown it like a muscle. I think you can develop it to a certain degree, but the thing that makes the biggest difference is the environment. It's so much easier not to eat the junk food if it's just not there in the first place. It's so much easier to get up if you've had a good night's sleep, went to bed earlier the night before, and have something specific to get up for. So when it comes to production and music or being creative in general, you want to cultivate a space that is ideal for making that happen with ease. Having your guitar or piano right there so that you can just jump straight onto it. Having your computer set up and organized so that everything is quick to open and find. So that the resistance to doing those challenging and hard tasks is as little as possible. The only thing that should really be hard is the work itself, not getting to the start line. Hence the reason for building a music studio at home. It's right there. I can get to work at a moment's notice and that is so powerful. Then you end up building momentum and a routine and it becomes easy to do those things. And now the identity that I have of myself is someone that is hardworking, consistent, does the work and practices. But it isn't something I have to constantly wrestle with. Sometimes it is still challenging and that's when it is helpful to call on your willpower and your discipline to do a thing when you really don't want to do it. But if you always have to call on that, then the chances are you're just not going to be able to do it that often. I hear brute force being called upon far too often, and it's a blunt tool that I felt I was using far too much. Now that I've been a bit smarter about my environment and the things I allow into the environment and the things that I keep out of the environment, it's been so much easier to get lots more things done and to think freely. One of the other key things about that is not just the equipment and the things that you have accessible to you, it's also the people that you have accessible to you and around you. There's a common saying that I will paraphrase: show me the people you spend your time with and I will tell you who you are. And of course it's not completely accurate, but to a large degree it is. This doesn't just have to be the people you surround yourself with in person. There is also a digital social space. There's the media you consume, the books that you do or don't read, and the people that you watch online. I find it very helpful to be honest with myself about the people that I watch, the people that I hang around online. That is part of your environment and makes up a large percentage of the people that you spend your time with. So the more that you optimize your environment so that it's distraction free, everything that you need is easy to access, and that you have accountability for doing the work, whether that's with yourself or with other people online or on a YouTube channel, you'll find that doing the hard work will get easier and easier because you are flowing with a river of productivity, not fighting against it with discipline and willpower all the time. When it comes to environment, one of the most valuable things for me is having a space where I can explore ideas that are sensitive, that need nurturing to become something that I'm really happy with, where at their inception they are vulnerable and I can explore them to somewhere where they are more solid and well formed, without criticism or negativity creeping in at a sensitive moment where the little flame that could grow to be something that's really special will be put out. It also is great to have a space where you're allowed to sound terrible. Take singing for example. It's been really helpful for me doing all sorts of strange and weird exercises where the sounds that I'm making with my voice are ridiculous, but the fact that I'm allowed to explore my voice like that teaches me where the boundaries are, where I should and shouldn't go with my voice, and that is so valuable. So I can't recommend cultivating that type of space enough. I hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if you're finding it valuable, please do click like, subscribe, share, and send it to anyone that you think would also find value in it. Moving on to the fourth point, and this has been one of the most important ones for me this year, and that is to keep the main thing the main thing. With the digital world exploding, the number of things that you could be doing is infinite, and so this again is where self-honesty really comes in. It's so easy to end up doing far too many things that aren't really helping you and are just cluttering your day, but that you've been made to believe are making things better. So getting this right starts with defining the main thing. What is the main thing that you are about, that you need to make sure that you are doing for a significant portion of your day, if that's singing or producing or playing an instrument or whatever your craft is. There are so many social media platforms that we could all be a part of and be posting on every day. I often hear representatives from music labels, music management, and artist development teams all saying, yes, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook, essentially just on every platform. And if you have the means to do that, if you have a team behind you helping you make that happen, but you're still able to keep the main thing, you're still able to do your practice, work on your sound, work on your music, work on your craft, then great. And I'm not about to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't do. Obviously, it's open to your interpretation. You have to be honest with yourself. But I definitely feel that the age-old competition between quality and quantity is certainly being won over by quantity currently, because the appeal to getting quick and instant validation is very strong. And there's a lot of pressure suggesting that if you are not everywhere to be found, then you won't be found, which I don't think is true. Quality and word of mouth are still, I think, very much the unsung heroes. To me, it's not just about building a following of potentially empty numbers, it's about building a following of genuine, caring people who admire you as a person first and foremost, and then your quality content afterwards, and will wait for you if you don't post for a month or two, or even a year or more. So for me personally, that has been really valuable, is to allow myself not to give in to the pressure to starting a TikTok and making loads of content on there. I'm posting on my Instagram every day and just constantly putting out content. As humans, there are only so many hours in the day, there are only so many things that we can give pure focus to. So by defining that my main thing is producing high quality music, it has allowed me to stay focused on doing that. The additional goals like making high quality YouTube videos and music videos can then feature into that, and then everything else is on the periphery. I realize, of course, the significance of marketing your product, of growing an audience, and of being seen, but the main thing must still stay the main thing. So personally, my view is don't be on every platform. Be on the platforms that make sense for your craft and that allow you to post the highest quantity of high quality that you can healthily balance. There you go, there's a mouthful, but I feel that that has worked best for me so far, and I'm pretty certain will continue to do so. Of course, my view on all of these things will change and evolve, and I will let you know as it does, but this is my current perspective. Now on to the fifth and final lesson, and if you've watched this far in the video, then you're a legend, so thank you very much. And this lesson is intention. I find it really valuable to keep in my peripheral mind what my intention is and be very specific with that about each of the things that I'm doing. Have a strong meta perspective upon the reason why I'm doing the different things. That way I can do each of the things that I do with much more focus and motivation, because I really understand why I'm doing that thing. And this applies literally every second of the day. If I'm working, if I'm practicing, but also if I'm sleeping, if I'm resting, if I'm going to have fun with friends and taking a break. Each of those things can be done purposefully so that you can really make the most out of each of those things, rather than just randomly plodding away whilst you practice, or just messing around in FL Studio without intention, or plonking away at the piano keys, playing the same little doodles that I've known forever. By being clear and specific with myself about what the intention of each of the things that I'm doing is, it allows me to dive into it in a lot more depth and make each of those things a lot more fruitful. If you find and really remember your why, the how and the when will take care of themselves. This has allowed me to develop so many things in leaps and bounds. If I'm going to practice production, I'll do a specific thing and really try and get to the root of it and understand it deeply. When it comes to practicing anything, for example, I will ask myself, what is it I'm trying to improve? What is the thing I'm going to do that will improve it, and why? And then mindfully do that thing. Rather than just singing scales for the sake of singing scales, I'll really understand what's going on with the anatomy of my voice whilst I'm moving up and down the scale, or why I'm trying to learn a certain chord progression, why a certain chord progression works, how a compressor behaves and why it behaves, and when it makes sense to use it and when it doesn't. This applies also outside of the studio. When I go for a run or I go and do exercise, it's done with intention. When I rest, when I chill out with my family and friends or watch a movie, I am also doing it intentionally, because rather than feeling guilty for doing that thing, it's the exact opposite. It all gives rise and quality to your main thing, to the thing that you're trying to develop, so long as you have a clear understanding and grasp of the intention. So that's that. I know I dove into a lot of detail there, but I found it really helped me, and I wanted to share it with you all at the end of this year, and I'm sure I will dive into other topics like this in the future, especially if you would like me to. If there's anything else you would like me to talk about, please do leave it down below, and if you have any other further questions, then leave a comment down below or send me a message on my Instagram. I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching these videos. It's so special to be able to do this, so I can't thank you enough. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and have a wonderful new year heading into 2021. Thanks again for watching. You can click on another video right now, and I look forward to sharing that with you. But until then, bye.